So I have your report card here, Derek, and you probably want to look at this because you have more than a few Fs.
Yeah, I'm kind of struggling in earth environmental and chemistry right now.
And why do you think that is?
Well, I'm kind of struggling to see the real world application of a couple things, specifically like pH testing, the labs. I don't know when I'm ever going to use those, and photosynthesis.
So have you heard of hydroponics?
No, I haven't. What's that?
So hydroponics is growing plants in water instead of soil. And a few of the things you mentioned you're struggling with can be applied to hydroponics because you have to do titration tests on the water which are in some of your chemistry labs. And you need to test pH, and obviously photosynthesis is very important when you're trying to grow plants. Hydroponics is a rapidly growing industry right now. So I don't know if that could help you apply some of what you're learning to the real world.
It sounds pretty interesting. Does Seek have anything like that currently?
I don't think so.
It'd be cool if we had a club for that or something.
It's a good idea.
Hey!
Hey, what's up? Are you registering for your classes yet?
Yeah, tomorrow. I have to get up early to,
Mine's at 9.
Hey guys!
Hey, what's up?
You met with the counselor, didn't you?
Yeah, so she kind of told me that I was failing the majority of my classes, but I learned about something called hydroponics. That was pretty cool. What's that?
Isn't that growing plants in water?
Yeah, I have a system at home. It's pretty cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gave me a couple ways that we could apply it to the classroom, like pH testing in earth and environmental, or a way that we could implement it with labs, that kind of thing.
Hey, I think my mom knows someone at Myers Park who does that. They have a whole club and everything.
That'd be
We
cool.
do that here.
Yeah.
Try and get them to help us or something?
Yeah.
Maybe we should ask the students first before we do that, though.
Right.
Probably.
they
I bet
think.
they'd be interested.
Yeah.
I think they would be. I know I am.
Did you say there's a club that your mom does?
Yeah, they have a whole club. They do different tests there, and the students run the system.
Oh, we should go talk to them.
That's a
See
really
if they
good
like
idea.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Cool. Yeah, bro.
Great.
Okay, I think
Here we go. That's it.
Would you guys join a hydroponics club?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, I actually know someone who was in a hydroponics club. I never really got to hear what it was about, but he was pretty into it, so yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be super interesting to learn about. Yeah, I'd love to know more information about it.
So I got the survey results, and over 80% said they'd be interested in learning about growing plants in water. So I think that's pretty promising. And then with the question of would you join a hydroponic club, there was a pretty popular response of yes in the club that met once a week and the club that met every other week.
That's awesome.
Yes, I think people would actually join.
But before we start organizing, maybe we should talk to someone who's more experienced in hydroponics beforehand. You mentioned that your mom knows someone.
Yeah, he does the garden at Myers Park.
What's his name?
I think his name is Sam Fleming.
Oh, let's pull that up.
Oh, it says here that he used to be the manager of a hydroponics retail store, and he's the founder of 100 Gardens, which goes around to schools and just starts different hydroponics and aquaponics systems.
Oh, cool.
So
He'll
that's
be a really
pretty
good
much
fit.
what we're trying to do, right? I found his website, 100 Gardens. Okay, I have his email. You should probably
Yeah,
email
we
him
should
and see if
contact
he's
him.
interested.
I think he'd be really helpful.
Okay.
Maybe that's amazing.
Here we go.
Guys, he responded. He said he can meet this Friday at Myers Park.
Ooh, that works for me. I could probably meet him then.
About to go to Myers Park. Oh, just got a text. Guess they want me to interview the students too. Okay. What are some of the most common problems you run into, and what are some ways that we can prevent those?
The easiest way to prevent it is for us to establish a set of standard operating procedures. And this is the sort of industry lingo for how to run a business.
Okay, so figure out what pH it should be at.
Yeah, and it's daily tasks. So not only do you have water chemistry and mixing fertilizers, but You have to be able to establish strong plants from seed all the way to harvest.
Okay.
And that requires a set of daily tasks that have to be done, but also creating a perfect environment.
Okay. So it's dialing in the setup and then teaching the students how to run the system on a day-to-day basis with those operating standards.
That's right. And you'll learn that much faster than if you were to open a book and try and build your knowledge base beforehand. It's I found doing this for 7 years and teaching people, it's better to get them started hands-on right away, and then you pique the interest to go back and then back it up academically with all the stuff you research.
I think we kind of felt the same way. When we first started off, we were researching a lot off the internet and from books, and then once we got here and actually harvesting,
Fresh basil, chives, parsley, Swiss chard, kale, all that
so
stuff.
it's a pretty wide variety for students to pick from.
That's right.
That's good.
That's right. And what you'll notice is that certain varieties of plants grow faster than others. So this variety here grows about twice the speed of other lettuces.
Okay.
Because it's been developed for indoor
I was
production.
wondering if it's had any impact on your regular classes. Like, have you guys implemented it all with like experiments in your regular classes, or do you guys just have it for the club?
We have it in other classes, like for chemistry and stuff, we do experiments and we just do different stuff. But this is a good.
Also, we're gonna have an NYP project soon.
Okay.
It's about how you can make an impact on, like, how you can make a global impact.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I can tie this topic to it, like on a.
Okay. Great.
Understand with more people because like you can learn a lot from the club and you know it will be like beneficial and stuff and it can help outside of the club and for school. So it'd be really good.
So you guys feel like people are kind of missing out on the club?
Yeah, in a way, because you learn different stuff and you can make new friends as well.
So this is the 3D rendering that Fleming sent us. It's about 2x4 on the base, and then I think around 6 or 7 feet tall.
So I drew this sketch based on Sam's 3D rendering, and we're only going to be building 1 rack at Seek because there's not a lot of space there. There isn't a lot of space for 3 racks. And then also you can see the plumbing more clearly. There is 1 pump line and then 3 drain lines, 1 for each grow tray, and there are control valves on each level to make sure they all have the same amount of water in them.
That makes sense.
It looks like it's ebb and flow too, so I guess they flood the grow trays multiple times a day from those reservoirs at the bottom.
And this system seems to be really good for like lettuce or like leafy greens or any plant like this size.
Yeah. So the system altogether is going to be about $1,800. Fleming sent me the like parts price list, and the lights are what is like $1,000
by
yeah,
themselves.
So that's why it's going to be so expensive. I looked into Donors Choose, and Fleming is a vendor, but not. He's like a service contractor, not like a.
So it'd be hard to get the parts.
Yeah,
through that.
so we can't do it through him because he's not on the list, and we can't use Amazon Prime because apparently they took that away like a few years ago, and all the parts we linked were from Amazon Prime, so I just don't think it's gonna work.
Well, we could use GoFundMe because that way we have like more flexibility in terms of where we can buy the products.
Yeah.
That'd probably be
Okay,
easier.
I like that idea.
We could probably ask for money from Seek too. I bet they would be willing to give us something.
Yeah, because it is going towards the club there. They probably have some money set aside for stuff like that.
Right.
Maybe we should
Good
ask
idea.
Mr. Leach.
All right, guys, ready to talk to Mr. Leach about funding?
Yep, let's do it.
Go.
Hey, Elena.
Hey, Hannah.
That meeting went really well.
Yeah, it's really fortunate that Mr. Leach gave us $1,800 so we can build our product.
Oh, I completely agree. He seemed like interested. Like he actually thought it was a good idea.
And maybe this club's actually going to work out after all.
I think we need to go ahead and order the parts.
I think that's a really good idea. Can you do that tonight? Like go through my sketches and then look at the invoice from Sam and see all the parts we need?
Yeah, sure.
I think we also should go to Myers Park to like test the water so we kind of know what we're doing when we have to test our own water.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a good idea. So we'll plan that later on.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, bye.
We're ready.
All right, time to order parts. Where is this invoice?
so many of them.
Alright, hey! I was just making sure, so tomorrow morning we're going to see Sam at Myers Park. Are you able to drive me there?
Yeah, I can do that.
Alright, cool. So, but also be prepared, we're going to test the system there to make sure the plants are going to be compatible with our kind of system.
Okay.
And ask Sam some questions.
Okay, yeah, that
Alright,
works.
cool. Just wanted to make sure. See you later.
See you later.
Accurate as possible when you're testing, and the way our group did it was we used different tools such as a EC meter to test the nutrient levels, a pH meter to test the pH, and a thermometer to test the room temperature. Also, it is really important that we show the quantitative sides and the qualitative sides when we're using our data. So the quantitative things that were in our testing would be the pH levels, the nutrient levels, and the thermometer to test the temperature. And some of the qualitative things that we tested were just to see like if the plant had any diseases or disorder. And you can do this by basically looking at the plant and identifying what it is.
Right, so the system we ran our testing procedure on was a system that our mentor Sam Fleming built at Myers Park High School. The system is kept in a greenhouse, so it's in a controlled environment, and this helped ensure that our tests were as accurate as possible. And Jonathan mentioned that's a very important thing when it comes to developing your own testing procedure and coming up with what to look for. Also, our mentor helped us learn how to use the equipment necessary to run the tests and what to do if any of our values
So
were
while
too
we
high.
have to assess the water quality and environmental conditions with the plants, we also need to look for diseases. There are many diseases that can affect plant health, but we're focused on like 4 main ones, which are tip burn, chlorosis, root burn, and root rot. Hey guys, you're good to meet tomorrow, right, at the warehouse?
Yep.
We have everything ordered. Where Fleming is bringing it, I made sure he's going to meet us there. And then Elena is also going to be there, so we can start build day.
Okay. Cool. That'll be
Good?
fun. Yeah. That's the smaller, yep. Or sorry, 3/4 inch. Yep. Hey, how's it going? And then you'll put that on each one of them. Yeah, those here.
What's our progress so far?
So far, we've got our first set of lights hooked up, and the main struggle with this was figuring out how to connect them all. We had to cut them down a few times and like turn them around, or if this is all the way tightened up, how we had it originally, you can't plug anything into it because the lights are too long. But we got it figured out, so we're just gonna do that on these 2 levels.
We have also drilled 2 holes in each of the grow trays to fit our bulkhead connectors. And if you come over here, the bulkhead connectors originally did not fit, so we had to cut out 3 spaces on each of the wire racks to make sure that these would fit. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Nice. So we've got the majority of this plumbed. We have plumbed. Okay. We have the pump will push water up this to each tray, and this is all connected because the water is going up. So it's just gonna, these little blue things control how much water goes into each tray, so we can keep it equal. Each tray has its individual drain pipe so that the water doesn't get backed up and it drains when it needs to. A problem that we had is there's a crack in this grow tray that we're gonna have to epoxy, but that's not that big of an issue. And we have our reservoir installed where all the water goes.
Awesome. So, what has been the most challenging part of the build process so far?
Just making sure we have everything in order, making sure we have all our parts here on time, and we're making sure that everything is where it's supposed to be. Also checking to make sure that we have like all of our outlets correctly placed, and just making sure that everything is getting done in a timely manner.
So, what did you think of the build process today?
So I think it went pretty well. We had a few minor errors, but we fixed those, such as the crack, which we epoxied, and then we had to switch a lot of the lights around. But we fixed all of that. Now all we need is a ball valve for the pump because it's a little too strong for our system, and we don't want anything to like leak or whatever. But as soon as we get that on and the epoxy dries, we can like fill it up with water and actually run the system. So I think it went pretty well, and there's not too much more to do.
Oh wait, Elena.
What's up?
All right, so now that we got the build process for our project done, we need to go to our class and like tell them about it.
I think that's a really good idea to like get the word out about it. So maybe we can get the class together and then our group and then put together a slideshow or something and have like a miniature prototype to explain it. So
yeah, that'd be really
good idea. I'll talk to you about that.
All right,
yeah,
sure.
Let's
See
get
you.
that together.
My name is Elena. These are my group names Jonathan, Hannah, and Derek, and we are Way to Grow, a group of students focused on installing a hydroponic system at SEEK to help with the learning environment and get students more engaged in extracurricular activities. Currently, students have a hard time seeing the real-world applications of what they're learning in their classes, and this leads to a lack of motivation and apathy towards their lessons. Additionally, students are not thoroughly educated on healthy eating and nutrition, and there isn't a health instructor on campus to give that class. Installing a hydroponic system at SEEK will not only help students see how they can apply what they're learning to their everyday life, but also bridge that gap between like nutrition and provide that service to the students, while also giving another club to SEEK, which you do not have many of currently.
So right now our project is in two main parts, build the system and start a club. So our main goals pertain to the club that we're gonna start. Our goal is to get students more engaged in classes, and this would be through providing them with a hands-on learning experience and like a real-world application to some of their class content. We want to increase the diversity in SEEK's clubs because currently there's only a few clubs and they're not that diverse. So we'd add something that hasn't really been done before at SEEK. We want to encourage students to follow through with their ideas, whether it's building their own hydroponics garden or like a class project or even personal goals. A main focus of our club will be to talk about healthy eating and encourage kids to think about nutrition more often, and like Elena said earlier, it'll pair well with the online health class. We want to develop teamwork and responsibility within our club, which would be our team, and we're going to provide them with a routine that they will adhere to maintenance the system. And then we're also working on bridging the gap between grades by providing all grades with
about the in-house external?
So I think it went pretty well. It helped us figure out how we're going to present, because when two different groups come up at two different times, one half of the table presents one group and the other half of the table presents to a different group. So you kind of have to redo your presentation so you're not talking as long, so you shorten your parts down and you pick up other parts. But in the beginning, I know I was talking a lot about one side because that was my original script, but then when I picked up other people's stuff too, it was just too much. So I think we need to focus on being able to condense and adapt.
I agreed with Hannah. I think we need to condense our information down and kind of hit our key points, because once we got split into groups, whether it was pairs or whether it was by ourselves, I know I tended to ramble. So I think just finding out what the key information for our project is that we want to convey to other people would be a good idea, and then if they have any questions, we answer those, because I tend to try and front load information and make it so that they don't have any questions, but it leads to me presenting for a really long time.
Pretty good. I feel like we need to focus on the club and emphasize that mainly. I also feel like we need to focus on the bigger goal of our project and show different other applications we can use it for, not just specifically AdSeek, but also the overall community. I think we did a good job of showcasing we all understand hydroponics, and this is something that is attainable and we can get it done with the time allotted.
I think it went really well, but one thing I think we can improve on is talking more about the club and what exactly it's going to be, because a lot of students didn't really understand what it would do for SEEK. But other than that, I think we all flowed really well with each other and we all really knowledgeable all the time.
I think presenting our project to the class went really well. We got some people interested, but I wish there was a better way to let more people know about it.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we should make a documentary about this.
Yeah!
Oh, genius.